Thank you, everyone, for joining us for today's webinar, Digital Credentials for Small Businesses. My name's Cody. I'm from Accredible, and I'm your MC for today. If you're not familiar with Accredible, we're the world's leading digital certificate and digital badging software. And for us, that means over 2,000 leading organizations like Google, like Slack, like Sage, like Gong, like S&P Global, like Skillsoft, trust us to issue their digital badges and certificates, and we issue millions of credentials each month. I'm excited to be joined today by Stacy, our implementation manager at Accredible. Stacy is also our resident expert on small business strategy for digital credentials, and she's a seasoned pro in consultative engagements, onboarding, and training. Stacy, over to you.
Thanks so much, Cody. Hi, everyone. My name is Stacy Oh, and I'm an implementation manager here at Accredible. And if you've been curious about what digital credentialing is or your next steps should be with digital credentialing, you're definitely in the right place. So let's begin with the basics. Digital credentials is the umbrella term given to digital badges and digital certificates. They are the solution for paper-based certificates such as diplomas, degrees, and certifications, membership badges, and awards in the online world. Digital credentials are simple to award, manage, and verify. Some organizations choose to issue only digital badges or only digital certificates, while many of the organizations we work with choose to issue both, in the way of a more formal digital certificate and an easy to embed digital badge. So what is a digital badge? A digital badge is a visual award that uses colors, shapes, and symbols in their design and are hosted on a dedicated credential page. When done correctly, they are created based on the Open Badge standard, which ensures that the image is embedded with the necessary metadata for the award and can be verified if the recipient chooses to download the digital badge image. Digital badges differ from the pictorial badges you may see issued through apps such as Audible. The digital badge and digital badge page provide not only an image, but also contextual metadata, including skills tags, evidence of demonstrable skills, and details of the program. Digital certificates are more formal in their presentation and appear like a traditional paper certificate with the recipient name, the issuing body, and the certificate name and number, and often include an issue date and stakeholder signature from the issuing organization. Digital certificates are hosted on a dedicated credentialing page with space to include program information, evidence of results or demonstrable skills, and one-click verification. Organizations can enable recipients to print their certificates from home or professionally and include a scannable QR code in the design ready for printing that leads back to the dedicated credential page virtually. Now we know what they are. Let's take a look at how digital credentials are used. So digital badges are versatile and can be used to represent any type of career advancing credential, but are most commonly used to represent credentials that take a short time to earn, for example, for individual module completion or attending an event or conference. Digital badges used for module completion are often also referred as micro-credentials. When they are used as a standalone award or stackable credentials that accumulate in the recipient earning a final badge or digital certificate to represent the full program. Using digital badges in this way is a great way to motivate learners as they gain incremental awards that show their newly acquired skills along the way to their final badge or certificate of completion. They lend themselves well to rewarding pieces of a larger achievement, like courses contribute to a traditional degree. Digital certificates are generally used for credentials that take a longer time to earn, such as a degree, diploma, or certification. The dedicated credential page for digital certificates provides room for additional information and documentation, including work samples, references, transcripts, and exam results. So how are digital certificates used? Digital certificates are also used to represent official documentation. For example, professional associations use digital certificates to represent association membership, and to reward completion of exclusive membership program and continued education. So why do we need digital credentials? Because the world is evolving at a faster pace with technology. We mentioned at the start of the webinar how we live in a one-click world in which everyone expects instant, always available access, and many aspects of our lives have already been digitized, for instance, job applications and background checks. But for the way in which we represent valuable career advancing credentials are still stuck in the paper age. This means organizations that issue paper credentials are missing out on some core benefits, such as additional marketing channels. They suffer from a lack of fraud protection, and they have no validity control, and they lack the ability to offset costs and drive revenue. What marketing benefits do physical certificates provide? Let's talk about the restricted shareability of physical certificates. I don't know how many of you guys in this room can actually locate your paper diplomas or certificates at the current moment, but mine is in a box somewhere that I still cannot locate. So physical certificates provide no visibility to the organization regarding if and where they are being shared with friends, family, and peers. More often than not, certificates are received and simply filed away, like myself, with other personal paperwork and occasionally hung on an office wall. The recipient may snap a proud picture of themselves holding their certificate and share the image on their social media feed, but even that image can be buried over time. When the steps to sharing are complex and more involved than simply clicking share, it's less likely recipients will take any action. And even when they do, there's no easy way to track how and when recipients are sharing your certificates without creating additional labor for your staff. In comparison, digital credentials eliminate the complexity of sharing credentials. Recipients share their digital credentials to social media platforms, including LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter from the credential page in just one link. Issuers can add a clear call to action button in credential delivery emails with the target social media platform that aligns with their organization's marketing strategy. Recipients also have the option to embed their credential in their email signatures or on their personal website portfolio. Aside from instant exposure to a target audience, increased digital credential visibility helps to drive revenue through referral clicks and boosting the number of signups. So, organizations can offset the spend that would traditionally be committed to avenues such as paid media and social ads. Time is freed up as staff are not having to rely on building multiple target audiences in platforms or constantly updating and adjusting paid media strategies. Instead, the recipients automatically share their credential with their target network. This provides the benefit of a copycat effect from peers that see recipients' success and want to achieve similar goals for themselves. All of this recipient engagement is easily trackable within the Accredible platform, using our detailed analytics, which will allow you guys to identify how many recipients have opened, engaged with, or shared their credentials, how many views and referral clicks have been generated, and what platforms they have been shared to. Another added feature here is the physical credentials lack automation. So labor time is increased where automation isn't possible or available. For physical credentials, after recipients meet the target criteria, staff still need to spend time downloading the list of recipient details to create the certificates to send out. This creates a delay between recipients passing the module, completing the certification, or signing up for membership, or actually receiving their achievement or credentials. Not only does this delay reflect poorly on professionalism, for recipients, the moment for celebration can feel like it has passed as they are less likely to share their achievement. Some platforms offer limited automation with PDF certificates that are sent to the recipient after they've achieved their goal criteria. But PDFs suffer similar downsides to physical credentials as they lack security, can be easily spoofed, cannot be tracked, and create barriers to sharing. In comparison, digital credentials are automatically sent and received instantly via email once a candidate has reached the goal criteria. This encourages recipients to celebrate the moment by sharing their credential to social media and drastically reducing the time spent producing and sending credentials. That instant gratification. As a small business, I'm sure this audience will know better than anyone else that you often operate with limited resources, including time and manpower. Time-saving tools can significantly benefit small businesses in several ways. Increase productivity and efficiency. Time-saving tools automate repetitive tasks, streamline processes, and eliminate manual work. This allows your business to focus its time and energy on high-value activities, such as strategic planning and business growth, to enable you to accomplish more in less time. In summary, by leveraging these tools, small businesses can optimize their resources and focus on strategic activities to drive growth and success. Another topic I want to talk to you guys about is brand awareness. So brand awareness is vital to the level of familiarity and recognition that your recipients will have with your organization when it comes to digital credentialing. Recognition and recall. Building brand awareness ensures that recipients recognize and recall your brand when they come across it in the market. This increases the likelihood of trust with your recipient network as it feels familiar to your recipients already. Trust and credibility. Establishing brand awareness builds trust and credibility amongst recipients and potential learners who will come across your issue or page on the market. A familiar and recognizable brand is often perceived as more reliable and trustworthy, leading to loyalty and higher engagement. Competitive advantage. In a crowded marketplace, brand awareness sets your business apart from competitors. It creates distinct identity and helps recipients associate specific values, quality, and experiences with your brand. And this will all naturally lead to word of mouth and referrals. When recipients are aware of your brand, they are more likely to recommend it to others, leading to positive word of mouth referrals. This helps expand your learner base and drive organic growth if that is a part of your growth strategy for digital credentialing. Custom branding. Custom branding refers to the process of creating a unique and distinct brand identity that aligns your organization's values, mission, and target audience. Differentiation. Custom branding helps differentiate your brand from its competitors. By developing a unique visual identity, brand voice, and positioning, you create a memorable and recognizable brand that stands out. Emotional connection. Custom branding allows you to establish an emotional connection with your target audience. When recipients resonate with your brand identity and values, they are more likely to develop a strong affinity and loyalty to your brand. Consistency and coherence. Custom branding ensures consistency across all touch points and marketing channels. A coherent brand identity, including logos, colors, typography, and messaging, helps create a unified brand experience, reinforcing brand recognition and trust. Long-term value. A well-crafted custom brand has the potential for a long-term value and sustainability. It becomes an intangible asset of your business, representing its reputation, quality, and recipient perception. By focusing on brand awareness and custom branding, you can drive higher engagement, foster loyalty, and ultimately increase sales and revenue. It is a continuous effort that requires consistent messaging, effective marketing strategies, and customer-centric approaches to build a strong and memorable brand presence in the market. To summarize, digital credentials are the modern evolution of traditional credentials. They benefit organizations, especially small businesses, by helping you to reduce the time, spend, and labor for issuing and managing credentials with automated issuance and integration into existing systems. They also provide increased protection for brand reputation and against fraudulently claimed or spoofed credentials. And they offer full control over expiration and validity to help drive revenue through continued learning and renewals. All right. I would love to open things up with your questions.
Stacy, we have one question that came up here that I would love to start off with, and this is answered in text, but one anonymous attendee wants to know how certificates can be accessed.
Certificates can be accessed virtually. So what will happen is when you import your list of recipients or you set up an integration, the Accredible platform will send the recipient an email and they'll have a call to action there to view their credential, which will take them to the credential page. And then from there, the recipient has the capabilities of deciding how they want to share those credentials. So they can, again, embed it in an email, download a certificate if what you sent them is a certificate, download a badge as well, and then also share it to pretty much any social media platform of their choosing, LinkedIn being the most popular, and then Facebook and Twitter as well.
Thank you.
Sure.
We have another question here, also from an anonymous attendee, asking where the credentials are actually hosted.
So the credentials are hosted on Accredible's platform called credential.net. So this is where we house all of our credentials for our recipients, and recipients can access it through that site. And the platform is really great because it can also add in a secondary email address in case some organizations choose to make certain credentials private, but still give that recipient the ability to share it in the manner that they would like to.
Great. Thank you for that. I would also add, if you are based in the EU and you're worried about where the information is stored, we do have both US and EU data servers to actually house the backend information. Awesome. Another anonymous attendee. Everybody is raising their hand silently here. What information can be added to a certification?
Quite a lot of information can be added, but that is really determined up to you and your organization. I would say most commonly the course information, the course title, the recipient information, the issue date, an expiry date, if that applies to you. And we do have some custom features where you can add in custom attributes to appear on your certificate. So just as an example, we have a university in Honduras where an image of the recipient is mandatory. So that is one. And then we worked with another university that had several locations, and the location was also really important that they needed to add onto a certificate. So the limit does not exist.
Awesome. A question here from Kate. Kate wants to know, if somebody's browsing on LinkedIn and clicks on a badge, where does the link take them?
The link takes them right back to the recipient's credentialing page. So all roads will lead back to that page, whether they got a certificate or badge, and you can see all the information related to the issuer as well, and also the course.
And does the information there include links to the course provider?
If they provide that for them, if they choose to make it public, I would say.
All right. There's another question here from an anonymous attendee around cost. Could you just very quickly talk about how Accredible does its pricing?
Sure. So we offer a few different plans. We've got our Launch Plus plan. We have our Connect plan and our Growth plan. So just depending on what your credentialing needs are, we can definitely get you in touch with one of our account executives who definitely have more information and can also consult with you based on the size of your business and how much you'll be credentialing in a calendar year.
Excellent. There's another question here, Stacy. What if someone wants to still be able to send physical certificates?
If you want to be able to send a physical certificate, there's always going to be an option to attach a PDF to an email, but you can always give the recipient the option to download it as well. So you can essentially build out everything you want in the platform, but we can hand it over to the recipient on how they want to handle the printing option. So there is a regular printing option, and then we also do have a high quality PDF printing option as well in the build process. Yeah, and Cody, I think the anonymous attendee was asking about white labeling. So yes, you can there is a premium white labeling option that we do offer as an add-on, but all of our plans from Launch Plus, Connect, and Growth do come with an option to create your own subdomain to point to a CNAME record. So typically certificates or certified .your domain is really common, and that can be done on all 3 tiers.
That's fantastic. All right. Another question here. I apologize for paraphrasing. Do we have to have a minimum number of learners or recipients before I can start digital credentialing or see a benefit from it?
You don't have to have a minimum number. If ever you need to increase the amount of certificate recipients through the platform, you can absolutely add additional recipients as you grow. So we can always start off with a general number. And I believe our Launch Plus plan comes with 1,000 credits to begin with. And that always seems to be a good enough number. And if at any point you need to increase that, it is very easy to do.
And preempting a question that usually comes up when we talk about credits, could you go over just a little bit more the difference between credits with Accredible and actual certificates that somebody's sending?
Sorry, could you repeat one more time?
Sure. Could you go over a little bit the difference between the number of credentials that are being sent and the actual credits that are being used up per recipient?
Yes, perfect. So Accredible works a little bit differently, where we use a single email address as a unique recipient. That recipient from your platform can receive multiple credentials, but we will only deduct 1 credit from your account from that unique email address. So if there's opportunities for learners to get more than 1 credential from your organization, if you already provide them with one and they take additional micro-credentialing or maybe even a pathway, they can get credentials for multiple courses from your organization, but we will only deduct them 1 credit. And that is on an annual basis.
Awesome. So it's sort of built for super users to come back and take more courses. I love it. Another question here from an anonymous attendee: does Accredible use blockchain? Very nebulous.
Yes. Yes, we do. You can add your recipients to the blockchain. There is a setting that you apply when you are in the platform, and it will record to the blockchain within 24 hours of publishing a credential from Accredible. It's a really cool feature.
Another question here, also anonymous, a little bit cheeky. What does an implementation manager do at Accredible?
An implementation manager, we get introduced to you as soon as you sign your contract, and we basically sit down and consult with you on what your long-term and short-term goals are for digital credentialing. And since we are the experts, we can really do a deep dive into the exact path forward and how we want to launch now, and also setting you guys up for success in the future of what to look out for in how we want to organize your groups, how we want to set up your integration, who are there stakeholders that need to be involved, the technical support that you'll need on your side and on our side. And we'll basically get you guys connected to whoever needs to be involved. And then we do train your entire team, anyone on the credentialing side. So anyone who's going to be helping you guys building your certificates and badges in the platform, anyone on the marketing side who's going to be assisting with messaging from the issuer page to all of your email templates, and then any of our add-ons like the premium white labeling, building a pathway. We will walk you through all the ins and outs of understanding the Accredible platform so that your team is set up for success.
Fantastic. A little bit of a follow-on question, but Ryan says, so we get to use you like an in-house expert.
Precisely.
All right, there you go, Ryan.
Yep.
All right. That's fantastic. I think we are out of questions here unless somebody else pops one in the next minute. So back over to you, Stacy.
Awesome. Perfect. If you guys have any questions about the general cost, I believe our standard plan does start around $960, but we will send you the information of our pricing plan page that I can follow up with. And if you have any questions, you can reach out to me directly. My email is Stacy, STACYOH accredible.com. Thank you guys so much for your time today. This was a lot of fun. Hope to chat with you soon.